Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my guide showing you the best routes to take and thus also the shortcuts inside of the street races. If you want to see what the best routes are for the pursuit races, then check the eye in the top right of your screen. If you want to see the best ways to earn rep, then also check out the eye in the top right of your screen. I know, very original. In the footage you can tell that we're already playing back at Rancho and have been showing off some shortcuts already. The footage itself is definitely not going to be impressive and expert racing footage, but mainly just trying to show off the routes and trying to prevent crashing into things, so yeah, normally we can go a little bit quicker. I'm using the Jester RR within the footage considering the fact that the Coleco GTF is a piece of shit car and I don't like driving it. More on that in my honest car commercial. Jokes aside for a second, there is a delicate balance in between which shortcuts you should take and which ones you shouldn't. Yes, I am aware of the fact that there are more shortcuts that I'm showing you, but there has to be a balance in between these races, between how fast you're currently going and what will be the fastest way to go rather than the shortest. Shorter doesn't always mean faster. For example, the shortcut we're taking here is significantly shorter than the other way around. However, if you were to be using something like a Coleco or something that would be going quick already, it might even be a better idea judging by how the race is currently going. Just because it is shorter and seems to be quicker doesn't mean it always is going to be. Now, of course, it also depends on what car you're using. If you're using a car that has higher top speed and is currently going in a higher top speed, then taking the outside line instead of the inside line is going to be quicker. Another perfect example of this is the footage I'm showing now. Going around rather than through the mall, which is narrow and tight and can get you like in all kinds of things and just all around could be a mess. Yeah, sure, it's going to be shorter if you take it the right way. However, at all times, taking the outside there will be quicker. Another example of something that is shorter and quicker is going to be the shortcut coming out right here. Sure, you have to slow down pretty significantly. However, going all the way around will definitely be slower considering the fact it's just slower. The rest of this race though doesn't really have any shortcuts or anything along those lines, so we'll just skip ahead to the next one because I'm pretty sure that you know how to follow a few checkpoints. In the high society race, there are a few shortcuts that actually are once again very useful to go through. As soon as you go underneath the mall here, then you want to take a left and an immediate right so you can go through the alleyway. This is another example of one of those things where you were already going slow, so going all the way around would just put you in a disadvantage. Fast forward to the LS Customs, I'm going to show you something very cheeky because if you go on this side, you can still hit the checkpoints and then avoid that annoying little clutter that is where you're meant to go for the official checkpoint. You know that on the Gtamen YouTube channel, we like to find the limits of things and try to potentially do a little bit of cheeky stuff to make sure that we gain an advantage and go even quicker than we should. Coming up is another excellent shortcut where you will take this left over here and then basically cut through everything instead of going all the way around. Of course, you have to keep your speed in check and make sure you don't hit any of the sides there to avoid losing more speed than you bargained for. I think that with these type of shortcuts, there's really going to be a bit of a balance in what your personal preference is in terms of cars. At the time of recording, the Coleco GTF is definitely still the king to rule them all, primarily because of acceleration. And especially if you're taking these shortcuts like this one over here, you will just simply gain a lot more after having to take these two somewhat slow corners. As you can tell, Smash there in his Coleco is just simply pulling away like crazy. That's literally the only thing that Coleco got anyways, acceleration. The rest is just, I don't want to talk about it. It's a horrible car. I don't like it. Another shortcut is over here where we're taking this alleyway here, cutting off a large section too, and then it's all pretty straightforward again until we reach another point, which is pretty difficult to find if you don't pay too much attention. After you take that left, and as you can tell in the footage, I missed it myself as well, so be careful. As soon as you exit that shortcut, you can take an immediate other shortcut by going through the hospital there. Very nice indeed. Make sure you don't pull a smash crash by missing the checkpoint because, for some reason he missed a checkpoint twice in a row, even though the checkpoint areas are as large as some of people's egos. So, details. Moving on to Country Pursuits. This one has a few very neat shortcuts as well, so let's get right into them. As soon as you're in the middle of the street, you want to take this little right over here where you're going to be cutting off a very large section of road, and then it's time to continue on with the track like normal, and then we'll see each other again at the next shortcut. Yes. Over here is another shortcut, but we're going to be avoiding that considering the fact that we're already carrying plenty of speed, and also the fact that off-roading will just make you lose more speed than actually gain them. Instead, we'll be taking the ride over here and then taking this jump. Make sure to take it in roughly the same way as I'm taking it, so you can carry plenty of speed to go through the final straight. Again, Calico will probably do better here, but I don't like it, so I'm not using it. Moving on to Up Your Alley. This one pretty straightforward, nothing too special. We're fast forwarding already a little bit so we can get to the good part, but in general pretty straightforward stuff. There's I think only one shortcut in this one that is actually worth doing, the rest not so much. Because when we are arriving at the shortcut, we're going to be taking this through the market, and that's literally the only shortcut we're taking in this one. I know, horribly disappointing, but it is what it is. And then finally it is time for the business end. Now some might think, why the business end? Because we're in downtown. I mean, in a way I'm also thinking that Rockstar's being a little bit cheeky here with, you know, the business end, the bell end, you know, something like that. I don't know, maybe I'm being too much of a 14-year-old. Anyways, moving on. In this one, there's really only one shortcut that is worth doing again, which is essentially at the very end of the race. Which is another reason why we're doing a lot of fast forwarding again, so we can get to the good part. The only thing you really have to do here is just going underneath the bridge, and that's it. That's how the fastest way to go in this one is going to be. Don't try to get you baited by the ones that are in the construction site, because they're off-road and they're probably going to slow you down more than you would like to admit. And that does bring us to the end of this guide. If you enjoyed it or found it useful, make sure to leave it a like, subscribe for more, and if you really like what you see on that channel, consider becoming a member, like Chloe, Robert, Fire, Captain Price, Sir Kulu, and Dr. Strangelove. Join them and all other fellow members by clicking the join button down below. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you all later.